Hello there guys, my name is Luke and welcome to the first video of the 2017-18 season on my channel. This one is transfer update number 1. Today is the 25th of May, it is about 6 o'clock, so all of the transfers are correct up until this point. And if there are any signings that I have missed, then do let me know in the comment section down below. But if they've occurred after this video was recorded, then they will be in the next video. So instead of just reading out all of the transfers, I'm going to mix it up a bit. I'm going to add some little segments into this video, so I hope you do enjoy it. Give me some feedback in the comment section down below. That will be much appreciated. Whether it's good or bad, always looking to improve. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it.
So first of all, we're going to talk about the players that have moved up from non-league into the Football League. And the first one is George Smith. He's a 20-year-old left-back from Gateshead who has moved to Northampton for an undisclosed fee. He made 38 appearances this season after signing from Barnsley last summer. Joins in a 2-year contract and he's worn glasses to his signing. That's a bit of a risky move. It doesn't exactly give off the best impression. Arguably the biggest one out of this lot is Ricky Miller. He's a 28-year-old striker who scored 42 goals in 43 games at Dover Athletic last season. He signed for his hometown club, Peterborough, who actually already had a £250,000 bid for him since they signed him just a few weeks ago. He's a striker that is big in demand, and Peterborough got in there first. Danny Lloyd, again another player from the National League North that has gone up to League One. He signed for Peterborough from Stockport. 25-year-old striker, scored 29 goals and got 19 assists last season. He's left his full-time job with a waste disposal company to go full-time with Peterborough. Next up is one that means a bit more to me, and that is from my beloved Harriers. It's Arthur Ganoa, our top scorer from last year. He scored 15 goals in all competitions. He's a 24-year-old striker and he has joined Shrewsbury in League One on a 1-year contract with an option of a second year. He's moved up 3 leagues. I'm really happy for him. I wasn't expecting him to stay here, so I'm not really disappointed that he has gone because I just never really accepted that he was going to stay. It was always very, very likely that he would leave because he's an absolutely outstanding player. It's all about self-belief with him though. If he can believe in himself and know himself that he is good enough, because he is definitely good enough, if he believes it himself, he will be a success. Michael Ahikwe has joined Rotherham from Tranmere on a free transfer. He's 24 years old and has made 112 appearances in the last 3 years at Tranmere, scoring 5 goals. He shot to fame and became a bit of a joke when he scored a stoppage time winner versus Sutton in early April and tweeted out, "That will kill Lincoln." After that, Lincoln won the next 6 matches and ended up winning the league. Bit unfortunate that. Karma caught up with him. Next is Liam Nolan. He's a 22-year-old, 6'3" central midfielder who has moved from relegated Southport to Accrington Stanley, again for an undisclosed fee on a 1-year contract. As part of this deal, there will be a friendly play between the two clubs on July the 29th. Gozi Ugu has joined Chesterfield from Woking on a free transfer. He's a striker, 24 years old, and scored 17 goals in 43 league matches last season. And finally, Jamie Grimes, a former Harriers player who was playing for Dover for the last 2 seasons. He's a 26-year-old centre-back and he was their captain last season. He played 48 games and has signed for Cheltenham in League 2. So now on to what, in my opinion, are the top 5 biggest coups between the 1st of May and 25th of May, so since the end of the season. And at number 5 is the only signing for Billericay Town. Big spending Billericay have signed Matt Payne from Boreham Wood. He's 29 years old and is a player that Boreham Wood wanted to keep, but obviously with the wages that Billericay offered, they could not compete. In at number 4 is James Poole, a player that was very good last season for Salford in the National League North. There was a lot of clubs interested in him after he declared that he was going to leave Salford. He ended up going and dropping down a league and signing for newly relegated Altrincham. 27 years old. Strange move, bit of a backward step, but he has made some backward steps in his career. In at number 3 is Liam Hogan. Captain and one of the best players last season with Gateshead, moves to Salford. Again, another big money signing for Salford. Salford is his hometown club. He did grow up just metres from the stadium, so it's a good signing for Salford. And his centre-back partner, as you'll see in a minute, is also a very, very big signing. In at number 2 is Sean Pearson, who has left Grimsby to go and sign for Wrexham in the National League. A very, very consistent defender who is 28 years old. Then in at number 1 is Danny Livesey, the captain of Barrow last season, who has signed for Salford in the National League North. A strange move for Barrow to release him, bit unexpected because he's been very good this season, but he has gone and dropped down a level. That was unexpected as well. There are a lot of teams interested in him, and he is signed for Salford. Again, that is his hometown club. He also grew up in Salford. So now on to all the other notable transfers that have happened. If there are some that I have missed, then I do apologise. Jordan White has signed for Barrow from Wrexham on a free transfer. Tyrone Sterling, part of the mass exodus of Dover Athletic. There are so many players, as you'll see in a minute, that have left Dover, including some that I've mentioned already. He has signed for Bromley. Also signing for Bromley is Iffy Allen from Wrexham. Then Chester have made a double signing. They signed Harry White early on in May from Solihull Moors. Niall Bell as well on loan from Gateshead on a season-long loan. Strange move that. They made a season-long loan signing in early May. That's probably one of the earliest loan signings I've ever seen in terms of the next season. Jamie Allen has left Southport for an undisclosed fee, so 2 players that Southport have sold and got money for. Quite interesting that they got relegated and still got money for 2 players. Jamie Allen has moved to Dover. Then Eastleigh, known for spending big, they have brought in Leyton Orient striker Paul McCallum, who scored 10 goals last season in League 2. Danny Hollands has joined from Crewe Alexandra. That is a very typical Eastleigh signing, an experienced player on a big salary. Gateshead have signed a very experienced midfielder in Russell Penn from Wrexham on a free transfer, and Guiseley have made the loan of John Rooney from Wrexham permanent for next season. Halifax have signed Wrexham's Player of the Year from last season, centre-back Martin Riley, as well as Sam Johnson, who's had 2 loan spells with Halifax, including last season. They brought him in on a permanent deal from Port Vale on a 2-year contract. Maidstone United have made 3 signings of players they had on loan last season and have made those deals permanent. The first one is Delano Sam York, who joins from Woking on a free transfer, Stuart Lewis, who joins from Ebbsfleet, and Reece Prested, who joins from Bromley. Sutton United have got some early business in, 3 signings from Dover and 1 from Boreham Wood. The one from Boreham Wood is Kenny Davis, who captained Braintree to the playoffs just over a year ago, so I think that's a very good signing. Moses Emmanuel, who scored so many goals for Bromley the season before last, he signs from Dover. Aswad Thomas also, as well as Ross Lafayette, they both joined from Dover as well on free transfers. Wrexham have signed James Hurst from Dover, again another part of the mass exodus from Dover. This guy, he's a very, very talented player, but he has got some... He does get caught up in trouble a bit. He sort of argues with fans on Twitter and stuff like this. He's not very good off the pitch, and yeah, that's what sort of held him back in his career. James Jennings has returned from Cheltenham. He was on loan at Wrexham last season, and Chris Holroyd from Macclesfield Town also joins on a free transfer. Then Woking have signed Richard Orlu, again from Dover, another part of the mass exodus from the Crabble. So now on to the National League North, and Boston United have made 4 signings. Brad Beatson and George Willis have signed from Gainsborough. They were both offered contracts with Gainsborough, and they're both under the age of 24, so Boston have had to pay a small tribunal fee of around 4 figures, as well as a sell-on clause. Curzon Ashton have signed 2 defenders, Steve Howsham from Salford City and Matt Regan from Stalybridge Celtic. Harrogate Town, they're going to be signing some big players this summer. They've got a lot of money to spend. The first 3 that they've made are Ryan Fallowfield from North Ferriby United, then James Belshaw, a very good goalkeeper from Tamworth, and George Thompson, again a very highly rated player from FC United Manchester. Neaton Town have signed Luke Trotman, who is a prospect from Loughborough University. He was being watched by Manchester United at one point in the past, although he did break his leg and that sort of halted his progress, and he's since gone off to university. Salford City, they have made a total of 5 signings, although 2 of them I did mention earlier in Livesey and Hogan. But other than that, they signed Ibu Toure from Nantwich Town. He is a left back and joins on a free transfer. They've also signed a player from Harriers, Manny Diasaruvwe. He's a striker who we did not offer a new contract to because he wasn't very good for us last season. I mean, he was okay, he was just nothing special, and I was very surprised to see that he'd been given a 2-year contract by Salford. Either they see something in him that we don't, or he has got an absolutely excellent agent. Then finally, Carl Piagiani has joined from South Melbourne. He spent a year over there after leaving Boston United last year. Stockport County have made 2 signings. They brought in Matt Warburton from Curzon Ashton, one of the important players for Curzon last season, as well as Stephen O'Halloran, who had fallen out of favour at Salford City with all of the other defenders that Salford have signed. He wasn't really going to get a game, so he's moved back to Stockport County, a club that he's played for in the past. Tamworth have signed Daryl Knight from my club Kidderminster Harriers. He's a player that we did offer a new contract to, but he wasn't he wasn't an amazing player last season. I'd imagine we'd not offered him a particularly big contract because he was only a bit part player. He never really played a lot, and I was a bit disappointed to see that he had turned down a contract with us, but that's obviously his decision. And yeah, I think we can definitely get him replaced with a better player. Hopefully, anyway. I trust the recruitment of John Eustace and Matt Gardner. Then finally, AFC Telford have signed 4 players. The first one, in my opinion, the best signing is Jasbir Singh from Gloucester City. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the National League North, that's without a doubt. He's been absolutely brilliant for Gloucester for a number of years now, playing part-time. And due to Gloucester moving to the National League South, he has decided to move to a club closer to his home, as he is Birmingham based. Then Shane Sutton, the captain of Newtown AFC in Wales, has joined as well. He is a centre-back. Kieran Dunbar from Fleetwood Town, he is local to Telford, so he's moving to a local club on a free transfer. He spent the second half of last season on loan at Stalybridge Celtic. Curtis Strong joins. He is a centre-back who has been unattached for the last 12 months, but was very highly rated before that point. But then picked up a serious injury, so he spent 12 months recovering, 12 months out of the game. Now moving to the National League South, and we'll start off with Anthony Straker signing for Bath City from Aldershot Town. I think this is a really, really good signing actually. Very good player in at left back. Darren Jones, very experienced defender from Newport County, also signs for Bath City. Again, another good signing in my opinion. Jamie Lucas, a striker from Bristol Rovers. Again, another good signing. I think Bath City there have made some really good signings. Bognor Regis Town, on their promotion to the National League South, have signed Corey Heath from Worthing. He's a centre-back. East Thurrock have signed James White from Concord and George Allen from Welling United. Gloucester City have signed Hereford FC goalkeeper Alex Harris. Havant and Waterlooville, probably the best signing in the National League South so far, I think, signing Matt Tubbs, a man who scored goals for years. He signs from Eastleigh on a free transfer. Hemel Hempstead have signed Joe Howe from Leatherhead, Laurie Walker, a goalkeeper from Brackley, and Taylor Miles from Lincoln City, all on free transfers. Hungerford Town have signed Luke Hopper from Gloucester City and Paul Stonehouse from Slough Town. St Albans City have signed Harold Joseph from Enfield Town. Truro City have signed Ben Gehring from Torquay United on a permanent deal after he was on loan there last season. Welling United have already signed a lot of players so far. They signed Jack Coyle, who was a player coach at Maidstone United until the end of last season. Jack Parkinson, another part of the mass exodus from Dover Athletic. He is a midfielder. Tom Bradbrook, I think that's a good signing from Dartford. He's a striker and he joins on a free transfer. Also joining in from Dartford is Kaka Dembele, who is a midfielder. Connor Diamond joins from Bromley, he's a midfielder. And finally, Western-super-Mare have signed Danny Greenslade from Bristol Rovers after he's been out on loan in the National League South for the last few years. He's finally left Bristol Rovers on a permanent deal.
So there you have it, that is it for my transfer update number 1 of the 2017-18 season. If you enjoyed this video, then remember to click that like button and subscribe to stay up to date with non-league football ahead of the new season starting in a couple of months' time. I'm excited already, and the old season has only just finished a few days ago, so yeah, already excited. And I hope that you guys are too. So of the players that have been signed in this video, who do you think is going to be the best bit of business? Which of the players going to Football League do you think will succeed? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thanks for watching.